Hi everyone! Now that we have finished Unit 1 and you have learned all about the process of environmental science, you have learned about ecosystems and ecology and populations, and we even started to move into some of the issues that we're facing and how humans impact the environment. Air pollution and climate change. Let's keep moving on with that thread. In week 7 now we're going to talk about water. Water has two sort of distinct issues that we need to discuss. We need to discuss water scarcity issues and also water pollution problems. So with water scarcity, what we're looking at is just the availability and access to fresh, clean drinking water, which once again is a huge problem for millions and millions of people around the world. And then also we have a different problem when it comes to types of pollutants we might find in our water. So we will talk through this week on learning about different types of physical pollutants and chemical pollutants and biological pollutants, for example. So the assignment setup is much the same as we have seen in the previous weeks. The discussion leaders will post to the discussion boards this week. You need to respond to that post and then also reply to another student. You have the lab, which this week's lab is all about surface water, and a lab quiz, and then the check-in quiz on Socrative. So just as a quick note here, when talking about a lab, I do have a little quick video instructions about lab this week, so that the lab is basically in 3 parts, and you should go outside this week. So I want everyone to go outside and find some water and do a quick survey of your body of water, check some things off in your sheet and see what that water is like. It won't take long. It should take you 5-10 minutes at most to complete that part of the assignment, but also it's a good way to once again get outside and sort of recognize important parts of our environment. That's kind of the goal. Also with this particular lab, there is another simulation that you're going to do and collect data. So sort of like what you did for the climate change lab a couple of weeks ago. This one's similar, but it's a lot less complicated. I know the carbon simulation, there seemed to be a lot of confusion, and again, there was some bad formatting in one of the tables. This one's really, really straightforward. So read the information here that talks about all the different things, contaminants that we can potentially find in drinking water. This is important information, things that you should know about how we could use water. And again, in this case, we're specifically looking at drinking water. However, bodies of water can also be classified for other uses. So if they're not clean enough to drink, they might be clean enough to swim in. Or if they're not clean enough to swim in, they might be clean enough to fish on that lake, for example. So we have different ways of classifying what we can do with a body of water, and a lot of that depends on what types and how many of these contaminants we find in the water. So you will choose different types of water here, and again, it's kind of silly the way the noises that it makes, but you're going to choose different types of water. You're going to test the water, and it's going to come up with your results. It's going to tell you what the acidity, the metals, the bacterial loads, pesticides and herbicides and nitrates. It's going to tell you what all of these are, and then you're going to write this information down in your lab. It's very simple. And then anything that is outside of the safe range, you're going to have to figure out how to treat that. So you'll go to the treatment lab and you will spin on these little wheels, and it makes silly noises, in order to treat these different types of contaminants. The tabs down here at the bottom tell you what to do in order to treat each of these problems. So it tells you, oh, you need to add chlorine, or you need to do this, this, or this. So it's very straightforward, the simulation is, and again, there's only 2 tables in the lab that you'll have to complete that was based on this, but the idea here is that it should be fairly straightforward and simple. So once again, also don't forget the lab quiz, excuse me, and then the only other thing that I want to share very briefly is extra credit. So there are 2 extra credit opportunities this week, one of which is today. And so hopefully you all got my email that reminded you of this extra credit opportunity. Marine conservationist Paul Watson, who you may or may not have seen. He has some reality shows that he's done. He's done a documentary. He's huge on conservation of, again, marine species in particular. He is going to join us for a live WebEx meeting at 2 o'clock on Monday, October the 5th. So if you have an opportunity to watch that, please do. This is not going to be recorded, so it's something that if you miss the presentation, unfortunately you miss it. Again, if you're able to watch, fantastic. If you're not, that's okay. I promise you there will be other opportunities for extra credit. The other extra credit is to join our Eco Challenge. So the Eco Challenge is a 3-week opportunity for you to actually take some physical steps, practical things that you can do to reduce your impact on the environment. So all the instructions are here in this Eco Extra Credit Challenge document. It's going to take you to, excuse me, it's going to take you to our webpage here, which this is actually our team page. So you're going to sign up and you're going to choose what you're going to do. So there's all kinds of different challenges. So you all you have to do is click on different challenges and you can, let's see if I can go ahead and move to, give me just a minute to see if I can actually show you what the actions are here. Here you go. So you get to choose all these different action categories. So the goal here is you're going to pick at least one daily activity and you're going to pick one one-time activity, and you're just going to choose what you want to do. So do you want to research local waste sites? Do you want to not use straws? Do you want to use reusable mugs? Do you want to advocate for more options for food packaging? So there's all kinds of things that you can select here, and you can choose these things based on your interest. So you will join us for the challenge. Each day of the challenge, you're going to check in, and the check-in is just saying, yes, I did my activity today, or no, I didn't do it. Better luck next time. And it doesn't matter how many times you actually do the activities. The goal here is to check in every day and tell us how you're doing. And you'll learn a little bit more about how your impact can really make a difference in this case. So that does it for this week. Oops, let's go back here. That does it for this week as far as what we have on tap. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, everybody. Thanks.